Okay, now I'm going to go over some of the problems from the equations of circles number 2. Now this does assume that you went through the equations of circle number 1, you kind of understood that, and also the completing of the square worksheet from a few days ago. We're going to now start combining some ideas, and it's going to get a little bit more advanced as we go further. So I'm assuming you're not coming in completely from scratch. First of all, they say write an equation of a circle. The equation of a circle is listed above. Notice the red 2 and the red 2 above the x and the y. That would create that circle. You just need to know two parts. What is the center and what is the radius? They say for number 1, write the equation of a circle. Here's the center, 0, 0. So that's h and k. And then here is the radius of 25. So we're just going to throw it into this equation that you see in the red box. X minus the center, 0. And we'll square that, plus y minus the center, the other center is 0, and we'll square that, is equal to the radius squared. We can clean this up because really x minus 0, you can just say that's x squared plus y squared is equal to 625. 25 times 25 is 625. So go ahead and finish up 2 and 3. Number 2, keep in mind the origin is 0, 0, and then I will talk about number 4. Okay, here we go with number 4, how to graph a circle. You have your equation right here in number 4. You basically need to know two parts. What is the center? What's the radius? Here's the basic equation of a circle there. The center here is not positive 1. It's negative 1, comma, not positive 5, negative 5. And then the radius is not 16. That represents r squared is 16. So radius by itself is simply 4. So now what am I going to do with this information here? I'm going to graph that. I'm going to first plot the center, negative 1, then down negative 5. Put a little red dot there. Then you move with the radius. It's 4, so I'm going to move 4 spaces to the right, put another dot, 4 spaces above it, put a dot, 4 spaces to the left, and 4 spaces below it. And then as best you can, you are going to just kind of create a roundish figure here. And there you go. There's your center with radius first and then plot the radius. Excuse me, plot the center first. I'm going to move on to number 7. Okay, we're going to move on to number 7 on here. This is where it gets really hard. This is going to involve the process of completing the square, the perfect square. If you recall, a couple of days ago, we had a worksheet where we try to get this scenario where we had like x plus 5 squared, or maybe it was a y plus minus 2 squared. And basically that is the look of the equation of a circle. It's in parentheses and you have that squaring, that's squaring. And so if you look at number 7 right now, right at the beginning, you don't see the parentheses. And so it's hard to tell, well, what is the center? What's the radius? We need the parentheses. Once we have the parentheses, then we can say, okay, there's the center, there's the radius. So what we wanted to do is make this number 7 here look like your traditional parentheses squared plus parentheses squared. The way we're going to do that is a process called completing the square that we did a while back. Now there's going to be completing the square 2 times. Now you can see they started off here with number 7 and they kind of took the x squared plus the 6. Then they put a little gap here, a little space. And then they took the y squared and minus 4y. And then they put another gap here. On the other side of the equal sign, they have minus 9 space, space. So what you want to do is think about, for this first one, for the x value, you want to think about what is this c value. If you recall from the worksheet 2 days ago, the c value is the b value divided by 2 and then square it. So if I look at this b value of 6, the c value would be 6 divided by 2, which is 3, and square 3, which is 9. So I'm going to put a 9 right here, plus 9. Whatever I add to the left side, I've got to add to the other side of the equal sign. Okay, you can't just add 9 without adding 9 to the other side. All right, then we want to also, it's almost like you got to do 2 completing the squares. You've got to do this twice. So I did it once for the x's, now I'm going to do for the y's. I'm going to look at this b value for y, which is negative 4. So the c value is going to be the b value, negative 4 divided by 2, which is negative 2, and then square that. Negative 2 squared is a positive 4. And if I add it to the left side, I must add it to the right side as well. Okay, now why did we do this completing of the square? Well, this right here will turn into a perfect square. this right here with the y's will turn into a perfect square. And it will start to look like your equation of a circle up here in green. It will start to look like our traditional equation of a circle. So you're looking for, let me clean this up a little bit. You are looking at this 9 in red and the 6 in the middle. What two numbers multiply to 9, add up to 6? It's the same number. It is 3 and 3. So when we break this up, it's going to be x plus 3 and x plus 3, or you can just say x plus 3 squared. If you look at this y part here, where the y value is, you're looking for two numbers that, let me get this, two numbers that multiply to positive 4, add up to negative 4. Two numbers that multiply to positive 4, add up to negative 4, well, that would be negative 2 times negative 2. Once we create that as a perfect square, it would be y minus 2 squared. It'd be y minus 2, y minus 2. Okay, so now it kind of looks like the equation of a circle with parentheses and the square right there. Let's deal with the other side of the equal sign. I've got negative 9 plus 4. Negative 9 plus 9 is 0, plus 4 is 4. Now they're going to ask you, okay, what's the center? Well, we can now look at this equation down here and figure out what the center is. The center would be negative 3, positive 2. Negative 3, positive 2. The radius shall be 2. And the radius, you just look at here. That's r squared, so r by itself is 2. All right, try number 8. And when you get to number 9, now number 8, you can see they kind of started off for you. But number 9, they don't. So what you kind of want to do with number 9 is kind of give yourself the space that they do in number 8. So you kind of want to go x squared minus 2x, and then give yourself a blank spot here, plus y squared plus 4y. Give yourself another blank spot. Oh, you got to add this 11 to the other side of the equal sign. So I'm going to add that over. And so this will equal 0 plus 11 is 11. And then I'm adding 1, 2 blanks here. So 1, 2 blanks there. You're going to want to do this. What's the C value again? And you're going to do that twice. One for getting this result and another for getting this result. Once you get those results, you should come up with a perfect square. And it will look something like that. And you'll know what the center is and the radius. So try these. These are very difficult. It involves completing the square process. Okay, we are going to do the last two problems here. I'm going to at least try number 11. It says, write the equation of a circle, which you should know is like this red box here. We've got to figure out what the center is and what the radius is. With center, negative 2 and 3. So we already have the h and the k, and passes through point 1, 6. Now we don't know the radius, but we do know the center. So we're going to have to calculate the radius first and then put everything into this red box here and get the equation of a circle. So we have the centerpiece and we have one point that is on the circle, like this picture above. We just have a point. There's a lot of points on the circle, and all these points have x, y values, but we just have one point here. The 1 is the x value, the 6 is the y value. And we're going to use all of these negative 2, positive 3, 1, 6, and we're going to plug it into this equation here. Once we plug it into our basic equation, we will be able to figure out what the radius is. So it says x. Well, x, in this case, we're going to use this one point that is given to us. It's 1 minus the center value, which is negative 2 squared, plus the y, which here is 6, minus the center, which is 3, and we'll square that, and is equal to r squared. Over here, I'm going through this quickly. That is 3 squared plus this is 3 squared is equal to r squared. That's 9 plus 9 is equal to r squared. That's 18 is equal to r squared. The square root of 18 is what r is. It's about 4 point something, but we'll just leave it the square root of 18. All right, let's put it all together. Here's our formula. Like we see it in the red box up above, it is x minus the centerpiece, negative 2, so I can put a plus sign there, squared, minus y minus the centerpiece, which is 3 squared, is equal to radius squared, 18. And then that's our answer. We spent a lot of this trying to get that radius number, and then you just put it all together as an equation. And that is what you would do with also number 12.